seems to be that Natureboy is sending a lot of personal messages from jail, trying to get to the public. You can't really find a lot of what's going on. I'm quite sure that these are just new discoveries that I'm coming across, because they change their channel names up so often, especially with these numbers. It's really hard for us to find them. And you would think that if he's trying to get a message out, he wouldn't still have these 12 and 3, all these numbers and symbols. He would just have their names so that we could find them. But I came across this, and basically he's trying to reach out to the divine feminine, and he's trying to apologize. We all know that in life people make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're not human. However, Natureboy is apologizing to me at the wrong time, and the reason why I say that is because it's kind of far gone from here. You know, it's going to be left up to whatever God he believes in, and the jury that's going to decide the fate of his freedom. Now, we could be looking at this in a negative light or positive light. We don't know what's going to be the outcome. We just have to sit back and watch this train wreck that could have been controlled earlier if Natureboy, the person who was in charge of the wheel of that car, was, taken,
Divine feminine, hear my prayer. I need you right now. I call upon you for protection as I am being falsely accused of things I didn't do. I ask your forgiveness for my prior disrespect toward you. This time away has truly shown me how important you are to me. I call upon you, spirit of divine feminine, to protect your divine masculine, and don't let the evil beast take me from you. I ask you exonerate me of these false accusations, and that you have mercy on those who falsely persecute me. I am your king, and I am growing. Have mercy and lift me from the hands of my enemy. I need you right now. Protect me. Only you can save me. Your divine masculine.
In control of his life and doing the right thing in the first place, he wouldn't be in this situation. And I know he's sitting with himself and he's thinking about it. And it is sad that he waited to this point to try to rectify the situation when he could have did that prior to being in the situation he is in now. He knew that they were watching him for quite some time. It wasn't like he didn't publicly say it out of his own mouth that he's being watched. So for him to egg this on to the extent that he did, especially the last 90 days, is really puzzling to me. It's not clear. It doesn't make any sense why he would do this to his life, but he did do it to his life, and now he's paying the piper. We've all been through similar circumstances. I don't mean to the extent of Natureboy's. I'm talking about just troubled times in our life where we just have to accept things for what it is and just watch it play out, because we have done it to ourselves. We know that we did it to ourselves. We were playing hard-headed. We wasn't listening to maybe loved ones around us that were giving us the warning ahead of time to stop while we were ahead, and we just took advantage of those situations. And that's what has happened to Natureboy. He has taken advantage of these situations to the point where he's now in legal trouble, and a lot of believable money that allegedly have ran off is not even there to fight for his freedom. If you ain't got money, which he talks about, currency not being a necessity and all that other stuff, you are not going to be able to get yourself out of half the trouble. And we're speaking on Natureboy as, we talk about situations and getting out of trouble. If you ain't got no money, you might as well just say to yourself, lock me up and throw away the key, because everything in life, when it especially comes to your freedom, is money. You know, you could be guilty or innocent, but if you don't have them coins to pay a decent lawyer to represent you and get your freedom back, you're in a world of trouble. I think that this message that he sent, the divine feminine, is not going to save him this time for the trouble that he has gotten himself into. I don't think that even True, he was on Big O yesterday, and he was calling himself being, I guess, a defense attorney, and he was trying to debunk Neytiri's statement of making love and it wasn't the R word. I think that it's too late to debunk or to point the finger on who's lying on who, because it has now going to be in a grand jury format. These are the professionals who are going to be making the ending, decision whether or not Natureboy should go away for quite some time or not. It has nothing to do with True. It doesn't have nothing to do with what the women are saying. Even if they were there, they should have spoke up earlier. Now, I know there would have been repercussions to them speaking up earlier, but I really think that it's kind of sort of too late. I know a lot of them are kicking themselves like, well, maybe if I would have said, at least spoke on it, even if it didn't make a difference, maybe he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in. But this is what happened in that control environment. People were too afraid to say anything. And some of what if they were able to come to him and speak what was on their mind, could in fact kept him out of jail. But because he had instilled fear in these people, they didn't say anything, as people like us that are looking in at the self-destruction that was going on for quite some time, that could have ended him even earlier than later, but could have wounded him up into the trouble that he's into right now and possibly not going to be able to get out of. It's not looking good for Natureboy. And I know that he knows that it's not looking good for him. And I think that he's at the point where whatever he can get out to the public, whatever the girls can do for him, Malia, Aya, and Efuru, and Zoka, from a distance, and Sheba from time to time, when she's not busy being a mother to her child, he's desperate. His back's up against the wall. He's going to utilize all the people that are going to be there for him still. He's going to utilize them to try and get his freedom back. Now, I don't know if it's going to work. Only time will tell that situation. But again, it's not looking good for Natureboy. I don't know if, because people have been asking me, things like people coming forth. I have no idea about who's coming forth as far as when the court proceedings happen. We just have to sit back and watch. I don't really want to do a guessing game of how that court proceeding is going to be held and who's going to be there. I don't know. There's a lot of people that want to put Natureboy away, and I think that there are some things that have been on the hush hush in order to put him away and not talked about, for the reasons of not trying to sabotage what the plans are, which is to try to lock this man up for a long time and have him pay for all the hurt and the pain that he has caused upon families and ex-carbonation members and members that are currently there. They want him to be punished for his, inhumane treatment of these people. And a lot of people are just staying quiet. So we're just going to have to stay tuned, see what's going to happen in these court proceedings, and then talk amongst each other in, community format on these live streams of, what is going to happen next, for Natureboy. That's the only thing we can really do, is sit back and watch. We sit back and watch, and then we can have conversation around what we just watched. And that won't be until the court proceeding.